Give me silence! I'll make them quiet. According to the Bible, Peter is the only disciple to walk on water and was with Jesus for such critical moments as the transfiguration, when Jesus appeared on a mountaintop in his divine form, and the raising of Jairus' daughter, when Jesus performed a miracle to bring a young girl back to life, while Peter attempted to prevent while Peter attempted to prevent his leader's arrest, he also fulfilled the prediction that he would deny Jesus 3 times that night before atoning by thrice telling the resurrected Lord that he loved him. Traditionally considered the first pope, Peter is also highly regarded in the church for his close relationship with Jesus, as well as his devotion in spite of his imperfect character. Born in current-day Algeria in 354 CE, Augustine of Hippo enjoyed the spoils of earthly desires by becoming a father out of wedlock at age 19 and a successful teacher of rhetoric in Carthage, Rome, and Milan. But his spiritual curiosity was piqued by a budding friendship with the Bishop of Milan, and after receiving inspiration from randomly opening the Bible to the Epistle of the Romans, he was baptized by the bishop at age 33. Returning to his homeland, Augustine was ordained a priest in 391 CE before spending the final 35 years of his life as Bishop of Hippo, a symbol of God's acceptance for those who repent their sins. Augustine, he helped shape the path of Christianity from the beginnings of the Byzantine era into the Middle Ages via books such as Confessions and City of God. And he wrote thousands of letters, along with formulating influential thoughts on church matters ranging from free will to the Holy Trinity. This revered writer also inspired many with his personal insights into the struggles of humanity and his love for God. Francis of Assisi, widely known as a peaceful, animal-loving soul, Francis of Assisi initially intended to earn his fame as a warrior. However, that dream crashed when his first foray into battle resulted in imprisonment, and he instead found himself drawn to God's instruction to repair my house. And he totally had a vision. He had a lucid dream. He it came to him in a vision. God fuck. It came to him in a vision from a crucifix in a ruined chapel. Renouncing the affluence of his upbringing, Assisi lived a simple life of piety and poverty as he engaged in the physical labor of rebuilding houses of worship. Eventually, he embraced a more spiritual definition of repair by founding the Order of Friars Minor, aka the Franciscans, which grew from its original modest 12 followers in 1209 to more than 5,000 by 1223. Late in life, Assisi received the stigmata, the visible wounds of Christ, and wrote The Canticle of Brother Sun, the first Italian language poem with a known author. Assisi was canonized by Pope Gregory the Ninth shortly after his death in 1226. Anthony of Padua, drawn to the Franciscan order by news of the five missionaries who had been martyred for their faith in Morocco, Anthony of Padua was thrilled to receive his own opportunity to preach to the unconverted in North Africa in 1220. However, his life took a dramatic turn when illness forced him to leave his Moroccan past, and stormy winds rerouted his boat from the intended destination of Portugal to Sicily. After living quietly in a convent for the better part of a year, Anthony emerged from the shadows with an impromptu sermon that wowed all in attendance. From that point forward, he was renowned as one of the faith's greatest orators, along with preaching to crowds that numbered at least 30,000. He said to have he was said to have converted people in one town when they realized the fish were poking their heads above water just to listen to him. Anthony was personally tapped by Francis of Assisi to teach theology, and he was later recognized as an evangelical doctor of the church for his commentaries on the scriptures. Anthony is often depicted holding the child of Jesus due to a popular retelling of their alleged meeting. Teresa of Avila. Mother goddamn Teresa? She's not as good as the real Avila, but whatever. After experiencing a taste of convent life at a boarding school, Teresa Sanchez de Cepeda y whatever the fuck. I don't give a goddamn about Mother Teresa. She's a She ran away from home at age 20 in 1535 to join the Carmelite monastery of the Incarnation in Avila, Spain. But this was only the beginning of her journey toward a deeper understanding of her faith. Nearly 20 years later, Teresa underwent a second conversion that forced her to reckon with the lax practices of Carmelite convents throughout Spain, teaming with St. John of the Cross, a Spanish priest, and Carmelite friar. She went on to found more than a dozen reform convents throughout her home country, and her mission eventually drew enough resistance from the existing order that Pope Gregory the 14th, the 14th, um, stepped in to declare the Discalced Carmelites, as the Reformers were known, a separate branch of the Carmelite order in 1580. Along with her stewardship, Mother Teresa was a prolific writer who authored four major books and more than 450 letters that highlight her devotion. She's a goddamn Rolling Stone, but sure, she's Mother frickin' Teresa, and she's the greatest saint that ever lived. And her name is famous in the zeitgeist. She's super freaking infamous and famous because of her devotion, intelligence, and sense of humor. She was canonized by Pope Gregory the 15th in 1622. She became the first woman to be honored as a doctor of the church. I can't stand Mother Teresa, but fine. Good for her. She was the first woman. I'm so freaking proud of her. A title given to saints who made significant advancements in Christian doctrine by Pope Paul the Sixth in 1970. It was the fucking 70s. And but you know what? I'm obviously a good Catholic and I'm a born again Christian. So listen here, goddamn Mr. Garza. Sometimes what you learn about the popes at Sunday school is not historically accurate, all right? Padre Pio, a 21st century addition to the Registry of Saints. Pio of whatever the fuck, aka Padre Pio, was a popular Capuchin friar based on the southern Italian town of San whatever the fuck. For more than half a century, in 1918, at age 31, Padre Pio reportedly became the first priest to receive the stigmata. This turn of events befuddled church authorities. They suspended Padre Pio from public ministry, pending a lengthy investigation, until he was permitted to resume his duties in 1933. Also believed to possess the gift of biolocation. Biolocation? Like goddamn Morbius? He's a goddamn Sonic the Hedgehog? What the fuck? He was believed to possess the gift of biolocation, like the goddamn Catholic daredevil, Matthew the lawyer himself. God damn it. I can't stand Catholics! But whatever, coexist.